speed to stretch. And the 0-1 pitch on the way to Edgar Martinez. Swung on the line down the left field line for a base hit. Here comes Joy. Here is Junior to third base. They're going to wave him in. The throw to the plate will be late. The Mariners are going to play for the American League Championship. I don't believe it. It just continues. My, oh my. Edgar Martinez with a double. Whip down the left field line, and they are going crazy at the Kingdom.
Get ready to play hardball in the Kingdom.
Take me to the ball game. I want to see the Ents. The Mariners are playing hardball. Did it again and again and again. Did it again.
Princess Tours, the vacation company, brings you the best show in baseball when the San Diego Chicken plays hardball with the Seattle Mariners and the Baltimore Orioles tonight in the Kingdom.
What's your opinion on the two-strike approach nowadays in baseball versus when you were playing?
It doesn't really exist, does it?
No.
The reason the two-strike approach came, and I still get asked about it to this day, and this isn't for everybody, and I don't, baseball, especially at the big league level, especially hitting, is a very individualized thing. Everything doesn't work for everybody. We're very individualistic. We all have to do the same things when the ball's in the hitting area to be successful, but how we get there is a very individualistic process. For me, it was two strikes, and I thought, I strike out about 100 times a year. That's just the way it is. But I want to get more hits. So I came up with this two-strike approach, and it's a mindset for me. It's a mental thing versus a physical. I knew when I get down to my two-strike approach, I choke up on the bat. I didn't have to think about protecting the plate. My body language was automatically telling my mind, you're in protect zone now. So anything close, that means if it's 2 inches off the plate, I got to foul that pitch off. And I know that, whereas if I'm in a 3-1 count or a 2-0 count, that's a take. But with two strikes, I'm not going to let that umpire ring me up. He's not going to send me back to the dugout and me arguing, that's off the plate. Doesn't matter whether it's on the plate or off the plate. That's out of your control. That's it. You put the control into that umpire's hands. So that's why I came up with the two-strike approach, was to set my mind, put my mind in a mental space where I knew I had to protect. I didn't have to tell myself that. It was already automatic by my stance and by my choking up on the bat. My mind knew protect zone. And what I found out over time was I struck out just as much, but I got a lot more hits. So it was I didn't cut down on my strikeouts, but I really excelled from an average standpoint, because most people hit 1-something with two strikes. And I went from 1-something to 2-something with two strikes. And it doesn't seem like a lot, but let's just say if you hit 210 with two strikes, I'll guarantee if we look it up right now, if you're a 210 hitter with two strikes, you're in the top percentile of the game, because two strikes is just so against you. I wanted it to be not such a disadvantage when I got to two strikes. And I found, for me, that goofy stance that I got into and choking up in the bat really worked for me.
Well, all right. We've made it here on the Rye Bread and Mustard, a Mariners podcast. That Down on the Docks, on the other side of the tracks, 5-star dive bar podcast about these new look Seattle Mariners. I mean, what an upgrade. Look, starting off, let's just talk about the upgrade Hano's got up there, Parmesan. Look at the background. We got is that a Rye Bread and Mustard banner?
Yeah, I took it off a building down on First Avenue that you put one on.
Oh. No, but you told me when you were going to take this home. Did you ever follow through with it? Did you put it up behind your mantle and all the nice stuff is so the wife did see it?
She
like
saw
that?
it. Yeah, she said, get it out of here, back to your room.
Well, I do love the upgrade. It is nice. I think this is something you should do all the time. It's even got the QR code, so if somebody's watching on a big screen, I guess they could like go in and subscribe. That's a good segue, right? We need some subscribers here on the YouTube. Love the listeners. We know the listeners on the podcast side are up. We want to get these people over here on the YouTube side, so thank you for liking and subscribing. If you hadn't, hit it, do it, please. Thanks. So we're sitting here after probably, I don't know, the best feeling game of the season. We just got done watching Dan Wilson give his press conference. He had a smile on the face like he got laid for the first time. I mean, everything is good. Everything is good, but also it's just so funny how we've all just kind of, as fans, said, you know what, that was a terrible road trip, down to Anaheim and Oakland. But the ride home with Gino, getting the news. Let's talk about that first. Where did you find out? Were you watching the game? What were you doing when you heard the news?
I was on a walk, and I just came home because I didn't bring my phone with me, and then I had a text from a bunch of people saying Gino, so that's how I found out about 5 minutes after it happened. I happened to walk inside and look, and great news.
Yeah, me, it was, I just had a bunch of texts. I didn't even read them. I just saw the combination of my friends that text me. There was you, there was Parmesan, my cousin, the Ninja, CJ. So it was like everybody that comes on here. But then I had a couple like relatives and other baseball friends that I knew. And then I saw Billy DeVore from the new Nasty Boys podcast had texted me. I haven't talked to him in a while. And all I saw when I opened that up was congratulations. And that's when it hit my brain. Holy shit, they got Eugenio. And then you hear the story about him hopping onto the plane. You see this shit on Instagram today or Twitter or wherever, watching the videos of him going back and just getting reacquainted with everything, like just walking back into a time capsule, I'm sure. Parmesan, what's your feelings on this?
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you 100%. It's just kind of weird. I kind of built myself up to think that it wasn't going to happen on the final day. It just it's more like, yeah, like that'd be nice, right? I was almost coming up with reasons of not to like it. Just kind of thinking of all the negatives of like, nah, this is why it's not a good deal, even if we're able to pull it off.
Yeah, you're in that Mariners train of thought that as a Mariners fan train of thought that we're all stuck in, just already getting ready to be like, well, we'll just make out with what we got, and getting Naylor was great. This is exceptional. I mean, I feel like, as the title says, all systems are a go. The Mariners steal the MLB deadline spotlight, and they did. And we already saw Eugenio come back and electrify to Seattle. We're feeling better about the team. Go ahead, Hanno, and then we'll get into some real stuff.
When, if any time after finding out about Gino, did you rush or check to see who we gave up? Because that was my first thing, was who'd we give up? Did you even consider that or think about that or go and find out, or just it is what it was?
Yeah, like after the thought, but then I already kind of thought in my head, because I only saw the headlines of him coming back. And then I wasn't seeing any details. And in fact, you sent me some screenshot. And just because it took a while for the details to come out, I knew it wasn't something absolutely monumentally major that you would think of. I mean, Locklear might go on and have a great career, and maybe you'll regret it. I won't, because this window is when we needed this. And you brought back somebody that's just so huge and just completely, he is we'll use the old New York Yankees, or actually it's the Mets. He's the straw that stirs the drink, right? Or that's Reggie Jackson, but that's just what Gino does, and just the energy tonight in this game. And I was watching it here in LA, and they pulled back on the camera because I hadn't really paid attention to the crowd from when the game started to whatever the 5th or 6th inning. That lower bowl and a lot of the outfield, or almost all the outfield and parts of the upper deck, were full on a Thursday night.
Yeah, I thought, but early on in the game, first couple innings, it was quiet to me. I was like, M's aren't hitting, Kirby's kind of, getting 3-ball, in the 3-ball counts. It seemed kind of low-key dead to me in the first couple innings. That's how I took it, and then finally they exploded.
Yeah, it was. The crowd was flat too. I mean, you guys got that terrible traffic up there. You got the Blue Angels traffic going on. It's kind of like, looks like an LA crowd to me though. Like that's how all the Dodgers games are here. But yeah, I know we're not really sitting here reviewing the game, but holy shit, right off the bat, let's just talk about Cole Young's home run that he hit. I mean, if you'd have put down the home runs, like whatever the barrel rates and the distance and the fucking whatever else they want to angle, whatever else they want to get put on it, and you just said, let's just match these up. Who hit this wall scraper, and who hit this shot into the Hit It Here Cafe? Imagine you just ordered some food, and maybe earlier on when there are some big lefties up there, you're like, I don't know if I should be eating right now because I don't want this ball to come and get into my pot pie or whatever. And then all of a sudden Cole Young's up there. You're like, that's probably safe to do that. And boom, balls coming in. I mean, they don't get a lot of home runs up there.
No, off the glass, like they talked about on the broadcast, and not so much, towards center field, so left of the glass. But Cole Young takes monster hacks at times. He reminds me of Prince Fielder taking hacks, and he got every bit of that one. It was crushed.
I was listening on the radio broadcast, so I don't know if they were discussing this, but they started breaking down like the longest home runs for a Mariner in the StatCast era.
Yeah.
So were they talking about that on the TV broadcast?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Zunino was next, I guess. I don't remember how far, but Mike Zunino, yeah.
Well, they were tied. I guess Zunino has 2 of them at 470, but that was pretty surprising. Hearing that Jared Kelenic has the longest, it's like, all right, one of our guys has to clean that up and move above him.
Yeah, for sure, please. Yeah, there's a help wanted ad for that. When Cole Young hit that, and then you saw Cal's wall scraper, which is probably a home run in every ballpark in baseball. If you had a wall scraper at T-Mobile Park, you probably could hit it out of every stadium, right? But it's like they went Freaky Friday, right? Like he took Cal's home run body type, and you took Cole Young's home run body type, and you just switched them. I just couldn't believe what I saw. Not so much about Cal's, but that power out of your 9-hitter. And we're sitting here and we're looking at this lineup, which we'll get into, this new look lineup. And it really did look new. You had people in different positions that we've never seen this lineup before that we saw today. And your 9-hitter gets a home run and a triple and is the player of the game. While the rest of the guys are getting adjusted, and you couldn't ask for a better scenario, because if the end of the lineup doesn't do anything today, it's a tighter game. It's definitely a tighter game, but there was that back end picked things up. I thought you had Canzone had a couple of hits. Again, we're not really going to rip through the game, but because this just feels like the start of something new, let's just get into it. First of all, you predicted this. You predicted the leadoff hitter move yesterday to me as soon as the trade happened.
Yeah, I just figured, JP had been struggling, trying to think who could be up there. I knew that Randy had let off back in his Ray days a few years ago, and I just, he's 2020 guy. I just thought it'd be a nice little person to put up in the leadoff spot, drop JP down, and lo and behold, they did it.
Yeah, you think about him and his on base percentage, and you think about, yes, he steals bags, and it's a domino effect. You add Naylor in there, things get a little bit different. That gets a little different around the middle, like the middle of the lineup. The waist of the got bigger here, but what I really like about it too is you see JP go down to the 8 hole, gets a big hit. I loved when he got that big RBI single, and he was just looking up to the baseball gods going like, all right, can we just get back to business here? And I'm sure when they told him, he's like, great, because when on a team this talented offensively that you'd think hitting anywhere 7, 8, 9 is fine and within what JP Crawford gives you. And on the plus side, it really makes that end of that lineup much more meatier as well. You go to him, you go to Cole Young, who's seems to be, going off once in a while. I like the look of it. And you got a nice little bridge right now with Canzone.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I was even looking further down the road for when guys are healthy, like Robles, Luke Raley. There's a lot of options to do there. So I'm just excited for that. There's possibility of moving Robles back up to the leadoff spot or what have you. I like Luke Raley, possibly out there instead of Canzone. But Canzone's been doing pretty good. I thought he slowed down a little bit, but had a great game tonight. Yeah, it's exciting.
Parmesan, remember when we were talking today and I was telling you that Hanno said that about Randy, and you were at first you were like, I don't know about that. You're thinking about putting you're like, who's hitting 5th and who's hitting 6th. But after seeing this tonight and actually looking at the lineup with him at the top, is your mind changed at all?
I mean, it looked great. As soon as I saw the lineup come out, it looked great. And we saw production from everybody in those spots. I think it looked really natural.
Yeah. And I mean, Randy got a leadoff walk. I mean, that's like, it checks one thing off of this. And then, and to look at it, his history in it, sure, he's only hit once in the last couple of years at leadoff, but when he first came up, he has 50 games under his belt. And I think it was either 2020 or 2021, somewhere around when he was really coming into his own. This is something that he did. He's done it 50 times. So this isn't like moving somebody like a Polanco over to third base or a Carlos Correa moving over to third base. Let's get back to the line. Think in your heads right now some lineups, and we'll get back to that. Here's a thought. Carlos Correa, Houston Astros. That was one that I was like, oof. Just reminded me, hey, a bunch of other teams made moves here at the deadline. What do you think about the Carlos Correa move?
Oh, it was reported yesterday that kind of, went on the back burner, wasn't going to happen. But you just know Houston, those type of clubs, they always make moves, just like, same with the Padres. But yeah, I even thought Arenado might be a chance to go to them. I'd be excited if I was a Houston fan. They always make a move no matter what. It's exciting for baseball. I mean, it's going to make this last stretch run a lot harder for the Mariners. I mean, Texas went out and got a bunch of people too, so it's not going to be as easy as it looked, the night before. But a great win by the Mariners today for sure.
Yeah, all the Texas teams, if they're in it, they got to go big, right? They got to get rid of some of that oil money. They can't be buried with it. They're going to do it. They're going to go big. They don't always use their brains, but listen, Paredes being injured. Sure, Carlos Correa has not played any third base. Let's just hope he has a real tough time doing that. But to me, that did just re-trigger okay, everybody else that's in the situation like us, like Duran going to the Phillies. Parmesan, you got that list of all the trades pulled up that you had earlier?
Yeah. I mean, I just pulled up the latest kind of report and list.
Right.
it's funny that they have the Mariners as the big winner. It's like the first thing that.
I think I'd agree. I mean, when you walk away with the top prize, that gives you, and then you also pick some other good pieces up. I think
we got to see our reliever tonight too, so we got to see the other piece.
Like the way he looked.
Yeah, I mean, he looked fine. I think all the big players, right? All the playoff teams at the deadline, they were like, what are the small moves we can make to improve our team? And that might be the difference of who we are as an organization compared to them. We're just so used to just having it go by, and we're like, we got these just run-of-the-mill players that came through. And that's what a lot of other teams did, where you have to really look into seeing like who are those players. But yeah, there were so many moves going on between all the big spenders, right? The people that have money, that have assets. It was a really busy day.
Yeah, and it seemed like today, I mean, I can't remember and I'm probably wrong, but I can't remember a deadline where so many pitchers like relief pitchers dominated the transactions.
Yeah, I mean, it's happened before, maybe not to this extent and rapid fire like it was the last 1 to 2 hours. Well, I mean, a lot of the relievers went quick, and then, all the starters went too. I mean, it was an incredible trade deadline. But to me, I mean, was there any point for you guys that felt like, where is the Mariners today? Like wishing that they were going to pull another move, hoping that they were going to try to match all the action these other teams were putting out today?
I mean, I've definitely I woke up feeling greedy. Sure.
Yeah.
I definitely felt that way, especially when you're hearing all this news that was in Cleveland. And I mean, kind of, if I'm at a player on that team and I see what's going on there, I just be like, I want the hell out of here. And I just go to my agent and be like, I don't want to be around none of this kind of stuff. I mean, that's the stuff that, Black Sox scam. I mean, that's the stuff that gets you banned for life, and I just would want out of there. And also I'm not a fan of their manager. So I was hoping we could get somebody from, I was thinking crazy like Quan. Then I was like, oh, well, what would that mean for so-and-so? I'd be like, who cares? But everybody wanted that. I knew that was just a crazy thought. I did still have my like, well, maybe we go to the well one more time crazy and get Ketel Marte and just some kind of, because we had all those assets sitting there. Like you could dream crazy like that when you had all those guys still. And you already had Gino in the bank. You already had Naylor in the bank. And you still had all of that where I was like, man, this could get nuts. And then when I started getting around like 2:00 and started to notice that it was just, these bullpen guys. And I mean, Correa obviously dominated the headline today. But then I was kind of like, oh, maybe they're just not going to do anything. And you heard like Duran was gone. You heard a couple other people that we've spent time talking about on here were gone, where I was like, well, we got the top dog, and you get somebody like Naylor that probably can be just about as impactful as the Randy trade was too. So you're like, really, you went out and got two. Last year you went out and got one person and it wasn't enough. And everybody said, you get two bats. Now we're talking. And then you get this left-hander, who, again, we were reminded here on the broadcast, this guy's pitched in the playoffs quite a bit. I mean, you've only played for the Dodgers for, I don't know, 80% of your career, and then you played for the Yankees, and then the only stop that you had where you weren't playing on, a perennial World Series team was the stop in Pittsburgh where we got him out of there. So he's probably like, thank God for somebody coming and getting me the hell out of here.
Yeah, I mean, we can't be upset. I mean, this is the most impactful trade deadline that I can remember in Mariners history as far as impact players. The only thing that came close I could kind of think of, there's been ones off maybe twos. I was kind of thinking Meyer back in 95 when we got Bennis and Vince Coleman. Those were two impact players, kind of like who we got now. But otherwise, it's been, Castillo 1 year, Randy, obviously, and then you throw in the years where you get Jake Lamb and Kirk Casale. So would have liked to get another bullpen piece for sure.
I'm glad we can laugh about
I'm very happy. What's that?
I said I'm very happy we can laugh about those things now. Like we can just go, you remember the time we did that? Remember the time we traded Eugenio Suarez for, pretty much nothing, and we gave the money? We gave the money that we were paying him to Mitch Garver. Oh, now it's fun. Here's somebody was tweeting at us right now. This is from Tyler TBNX. TB at TJ. Sorry, TJBNX. Adding Naylor and Gino is great in a lot of ways. One of which, in my opinion, is we don't need to rely on Julio exclusively to play that role, taking the pressure off to just let him do his thing. Hashtag go M's. I 100% agree. I mean, there's so many stars. There's a point in a lineup you can get lost that you have before and after because you're in just such a like, oh, wow, it's Cal. Oh, wow. Oh, shit, I forgot about them. I mean, and if you're an opposing fan, you're like, fuck. Like, that's kind of how you are when you're playing the Dodgers. If you don't get the 7 or 8 guy out, you're back to that top of the lineup, and it does not let up until you get to 7 or 8. And now the Mariners are closer to looking like that on paper.
I think he's exactly right. I mean, we've been, saying we got to take some pressure off Julio. Hopefully it'll get him going more. I mean, he's right. I mean, it hopefully should. He doesn't have to be the guy like T Banks said. So, thanks for chiming in, T Banks. Yeah.
I like it. He gets his first.
You were in the trenches with him.
Yeah, we got to actually get him on here. Yeah, I was. I actually played offensive lane with this guy. But let me tell you something really quick. This is a fun story about just how good I felt today. It goes back to Sunday. I'm down in Anaheim at the game, and I walk out and I realize I don't have my wallet. I wore these gym shorts to the game because it was gym, like they're casual shorts. It matched, it worked, but it was hot, and I was sitting right behind the dugout, which was great, but it's hotter than hell. There's a hole in the ozone layer over where Angel Stadium is, and you can tell by the way the people look that work there. Sorry, sorry. Was that mean? They're really nice people, and I'm going to tell you why they're nice people. I lost my wallet. They spent the whole time looking for my wallet. Like 20 minutes afterwards, they're like end of their shift. People were looking for my wallet. It didn't come up. Gave it a couple of days. Filled this thing out. Today they're like, we got a match, and I go down there, and you actually have to go to like the front office area of their building to go to the security room. And man, just the vibes of getting out of the car, driving from Hollywood down to Anaheim, listening to Mariners radio, to going into that Angels place, and it was just like, oh, God. I remember what it was like where you're just stuck in this lull. We had it for about 20 years, of where you're just not excited at this time of the year. Yeah, your face is down into NFL training camp, and that's that. And it was just so exciting. Got the wallet back, so thank you to the staff. They got great staff there, right, Parmesan?
I mean, yeah, I've also lost a wallet at that stadium and got it recovered.
Really?
He was ejected. He was asked to leave the stadium, and then they made a mistake about it and actually hooked him up with seats right behind the dugout.
Sure, that's one way to look at it.
Yeah.
But 2 guys getting their wallets back. It must be a Ballard thing because Frody Water lost his at a playoff Seahawks game and got his back in the Kingdom. So, man, you guys are lucky.
Oh, he lost it at the Kingdom. So this is before you could go on and you go on and you put an app and you give or you go on this app and you give all these details, and then they go and look.
Oh yeah, this was I think it was one of the last games when they played the Dolphins there. Oh, it was. We were young. We were a shit show in there. It was wild.
Oh my God!
But he got it back.
Let's take a quick little break. I'm going to refocus, pull some stuff up. We'll be right back right after this. Here's this Gino comeback one.
Myron compared Gino to that ex that got away that you just want to reconcile with and say you're sorry.
Yeah, no, it is. Eugenio Suarez is like the one you did wrong, and you know you need him back. You know you need him long term, but it's going to cost you. We're making some sacrifices in this scenario. Probably sacrificing some higher end prospects than you would for a rental, but you know what you're getting from him. You've also heard him say some of his heart's in Seattle, but he's also got to, you think, feel a little bit. Now hold on a second, you got rid of me, Jerry DePoto. If I was Gino, I'd be like, I want you to sing "Baby Come Back," make a TikTok video, flash mob me, you singing that, change the words to "Gino come back, you could blame it all on me. I was wrong, and I just can't live without you." I don't know. Maybe I should just go to AI and make up the rom-com with Eugenio Suarez in the Mariners front office.
Send him a cheese and meat basket.
So my best friend, his name is Myron Sumner, and he's from Seattle, born and raised, from the Ballard area. He grew up. He loves you. He's very upset that I'm getting to talk to you right now, but he has a Mariners podcast called Rye Bread and Mustard, named after the famous saying.
Yes, by Dave Niehaus.
Dave Niehaus, yeah. But he's got some questions. I got a couple questions for you. I got two.
Okay.
It's a bit of a deep cut. You share a lot of stories about the Griffies, but I was wondering if you remember your experience supporting junior and senior at the Arsenio Hall show in 1990. What was it like sitting in the dog pound during the prime Arsenio run?
I do remember that. I don't remember how I ended up going to the show with them. Ken was so young. You know, when he would go places, he'd be like, "Man, come with me, come speak with me, come I'm going to a school, you gotta go." He was so shy. Now he can't quit talking. But seeing those two on there, that was pretty cool.
They shouted you out. You had a moment on camera that was cool. I watched the clip last night.
Oh, that's funny. You're going way back machine with that one.
All right. So if you had to, Hanno, pick a team that you think made another move, if the Mariners were the top earners here at the deadline, who do you think is the second place or the scariest
in the AL or all of baseball?
Yeah, let's just go. Let's go. Okay. Maybe it's not a direct threat to us, just like, oh, that's great for that team.
Well, I can go this way. Also, it's all the teams that are right in the wild card hunt with us. Just about everybody went out and made some good moves, from Toronto to, obviously, we talked about the Rangers and Angels, the Yanks, Boston. Everybody got somebody impactful for the most part. I don't have the list in front of me. I watched it coming down the wire, but let me think. I don't know. The Yankees did really well by really shoring up their bullpen.
Yeah.
It's going to really depend.
They seem to just kind of scavenger a bunch of good picks. And let's not forget about McMahon that they got at third base. They needed something. They needed an upgrade there at third base, and I think they got it.
Yeah, and got the ex-Mariner Caballero to help out Volpe or wherever, play anywhere, because Yankee fans are losing their minds with all the errors they see during the game.
Yeah, I think Caballero is a good pick up, and he what he can do when he can get on base. He's an agitator. We traded him for Luke Raley, so I'm glad he's still doing. He wasn't just a throwaway trade. We got real value out of him.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so we found out too that the Luke Raley's still here. We really ran with that the last week or so, that maybe Luke Raley wasn't going to be here, or maybe even Canzone. Maybe they were showcasing Canzone. They're both here, so today I did think, okay, maybe and in the last few days, they were going to go get a right-handed bat for right field. Because right now, we've talked about it, your only option is Demo to play out there and hit. But they brought up Masterboni. Now he's what, switch hitter? Am I correct on that? So I guess you got
just a lefty, from what I remember.
Okay, just lefty. Over. Okay, exactly. I knew he was lefty, but for some reason, maybe I thought
all those guys look the same. Haggerty, him, it's hard to remember all of them, but
yeah,
but I truly
same thing.
Yeah, I truly believe though the Mariners are banking on Robles to come back and be that right-handed bat, and that makes this. I mean, Luke Raley and Canzone are good players, but if we get Robles in any shape like he was before he got hurt and what he did last year, that's big.
Yeah, and he doesn't even need to be that great like he was last year now on this lineup. Last year, going down the stretch last year when we, pull up as close as we did, we were heavily relying on him in a big way. So I feel like it's a comfortable situation to come back to, right?
Yeah, plays great defense, has a good, strong throwing arm, steals you a lot of bags. I mean, Parmesan was talking about lengthening the lineup, Imagine him being the leadoff hitter and dropping all those guys down, or you mixing and matching. So many possibilities. Same with Luke Raley, too, when he's healthy, hopefully. But it'll be interesting to see what happens. But I truly think that the Mariners are kind of banking on that as being their right-hander pickup here kind of thing.
Yeah, 100. You don't need to go get somebody with him. So that's what today, in the last week, I was like going, and for a while, they have to get a right-handed bat out there because we hadn't heard much from the Victor. And it was like, there's a probability of coming back in September. That's what we were kind of left off at until the end of this Anaheim series. And now we've seen videos of him just ripping it in the cage. Would you say he's throwing up to 150 feet? And he's around the team all the time. And I guess he was doing diving drills from his knees, soft diving drills, just falling over on each side. So he's getting closer to coming back than we were kind of, I know optimistically at the very beginning of the year, the very first 6 games he gets hurt, not even a week into baseball. So we optimistically were like, we'll get him back at the end of the year. But once the calendar started getting here at the middle of July, you're kind of like, and you didn't have a ton of news, as far as a fan. I was kind of believing he wasn't maybe going to come back. And how much?
Same here. Didn't hear anything about him. Yeah.
Yeah. But when they didn't make moves and then you start seeing that stuff, you start to go, oh, okay. Parmesan.
I mean, I think that's a great, point. It's like him coming back. The other 2 players that I'm looking at that can come back, hopefully in the next month. You got Santos and Bryce Miller. So those 2 guys, same thing as Victor. It's like, we'll criticize Santos a lot more than Miller or Victor. But any one of those 3 that comes back and is actually really healthy and productive, that's, equivalent to any of the biggest trades that happened throughout the league.
Yeah, and everybody that's all pissed off that Demo is still on the team and Donnie Baseball, you call him Myron. I mean, those are a couple spots that'll probably get taken up by, the Luke Raleys and the Robleses. So just hopefully filling spots. I mean, Demo, he's been good for us, but he's just totally fallen off the cliff here. But hopefully, Masterboni can kind of be that guy, because you need that guy that can kind of play everywhere in the playoffs, steal you a bag. I mean, Demo, like you mentioned in the beginning, Myron, he has to be out there right now. He's the only one that can back up in center field, truly. I mean, I guess Randy could, but I don't know. He's just fallen off such a cliff as far as his hitting down the stretch here. But we've beaten that to death.
Yeah, I think you just need. I don't want to spend too much time on them because we're kind of moving past that and kind of like taking this as a fresh. I don't want to spend too much time on them because we're kind of moving past that and kind of like taking this as a fresh. I don't want to spend too much time on them because we're
you got some window open, Myron.
Kind of like taking this as a fresh. I don't want to spend too much time on them because we're. There you go.
There we go.
Caught it quick.
No, I let it go for a second. I just didn't know what to do. That's 2 times in 2 weeks. You're a greenhorn on the show. No, I'm just teasing you.
Learn what the viewership. Actually, we I'm looking at the one of the YouTube ones. We actually went up a bump on that. I know the other day we lost about.
They head for the hills.
I think like 150 people immediately just left the last time when I left it on. If you're listening on the podcast, I do clean it up for you. So if you're checking this out on the YouTube or X and you're like, this is a shit show, you want the nice production that goes into the podcast the next day.
Get the raw unedited.
Yeah. But him in the cage, he's Victor Robles though. He's definitely tearing it up in the cage. I mean, he's going. It looks like full bore to me. He's hitting off the machine. So that was a great sign, and I do just miss that him up at the plate. He's got that crazy stance with his hands really low. Like everything about him, that speed too. I mean, so I know they're checking on his shoulders. I wonder if he'll be using his legs to slide more when he comes back. So that'll be interesting to see. And I also talking about other speed, even though Cole Young, man, what a night. But I also saw Bliss in the dugout, and you forget about his speed. And you're thinking, especially when they expand the rosters in September, maybe he comes back. Maybe that's a crazy look of a platoon of sorts if you get into the postseason, because he was really coming into himself. You don't know where Cole Young's going to be in September, but by the looks of things, he's trending up the right direction. But it would be awesome, I think, and you got to have all hands on deck. All systems are a go. That means all hands on deck need to come back. But you're right. There is quite a bit of injured players. Like we're going to have not as big, but a similar impactful, like acquisitions, like the deadline here in September. If you can get Miller back, who might be back before then, because I think this weekend he's doing a rehab start of like 55 pitches or something. And then you're going to get Victor, hopefully at some point. You might almost get Bliss. Maybe Santos can get his shit together. I mean, that would be huge if you added those 4 people to what you've already done.
And I mean, Luke Raley now, which is like,
forgot about him.
You almost forget about him. I mean, and Canzone's doing a good job of holding that position down to where you're
absolutely.
And now first base, you're not worrying about that. And which, speaking of speed on the team and speed on the bases, Naylor with his 5th stolen base as a Mariner already. I mean,
him and Eric Young Jr. Naylor and Eric Young Jr. Just, I don't know, they might get us in trouble one day, but they're having a lot of fun. It seems like I don't know how much of that's those two collaborating, or is that just him? And Naylor seems to have like switched his whole MO where, last year he was like a 30 home run guy. Now he's more of a contact guy and he's stealing bases. But I love Naylor. Let's talk about him.
Well, it's so nice to have him, I mean, when's the last time we had a really good, decent first baseman that's a natural first baseman, you feel really good about? I mean, he can do it all. Like Parmesan mentioned, steal bags, good around the bag. I mean, there's been a couple wild throws, and, the way he pivots off the base and recovers the ball. He's awesome.
I mean, Carlos Santana is a good first baseman, but if you're talking about and then before that, I mean, Ty France, but really, was he he turned into a first baseman? You say, hey, he's the best first baseman we've had since Ty France. No, but glove work, it's pretty smooth over there at first base. Defensively, what was the other guy that we had? Evan White, was that his name? Defensively,
yeah.
But all around first baseman, all-star that stays an all-star level player for a few years, probably since John Olerud. So,
yeah, I was
who's after
tired of
that?
seeing
Richie
Solano
Sexton?
out there and Luke Raley. I mean, thank God we got somebody. Rowdy was
Yeah, I saw
there,
Solano in
all
the
those guys.
dugout. Solano was in the dugout. I saw him giving high fives to everybody hitting home runs, and he had like a big, huge coffee. He's probably needing it just to stay awake now because he's got nothing to do. But you do need Debo and you do need Solano though as backup until these guys come back healthy. I mean, that's why they're there, and they're going to be used sparingly.
The other casualty was Ben Williamson getting sent down.
Yeah.
Right. So you lose that really great defender at third base for, any replacement, any days off, any flexibility.
He finished strong,
Yeah.
that's for sure. And
He
he's
did
going to get tons of reps.
Finish your thought, Myron. I'm sorry for cutting you. Oh, I was just gonna say.
No, go ahead.
He did everything that was asked of him. Came up unexpectedly because Polo was absolutely terrible over there with the Mariners' idea, thinking that he could play there. Played great defense, held it down. I'm so happy for the guy. He got to play in the big leagues. Can't say anything bad about him. It's, I think, the right move to send him down, get him reps every single day. Maybe they'll move him around a little bit to maybe become a utility type player. Hard to say, and then work on his hitting craft. But he was a big key for the Mariners. He saved their ass at times.
Absolutely. We just seen him win a game for us in Oakland. You would have got swept in Oakland. Sorry, Sacramento, West Sacramento. You would have got swept without him. Like there's no doubt in my mind you lose that game on Monday without him. But yeah, he definitely finished strong. But you do lose that like super elite defense over there to have decent defense. I would say, Eugenio is a decent with the glove over there. He's not out of this world, but he's good. We saw how good he was 2 or 3 years ago. He's a little older now, but he's still somebody that's a dependable dude. And I loved in the first inning of that game. Kirby gets out of the first inning with a double play right to Eugenio.
Yeah, he's above and beyond Williamson for sure, and that's not a knock on him. I really enjoyed him, but man, Eugenio, yeah, he'll make the routine play, play great defense, and for God's sakes, he's tied with Cal for most RBIs in the league and probably third or something in home runs. You had to make an upgrade if you want to be a serious playoff contender. You just can't have holes like that all around.
No, you can't. And I want to get back to the lineups. That kind of let's just play a little bit real quick. Hannah, what's your lineup right now going forward, right-handed pitcher on the mound?
I was happy with today. That was cool. I like what they did today.
Okay, but for a listener that missed it, it was Randy Arozarena, and it was Cal Raleigh.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I put Randy, keep him up there. You could put Julio there. I like Cal up second. That's a new thing today. He, gets more at bats because of it. You can interchange him down in a 3 or 4 hole. And if they would have kept it with JP up first, I would have liked to seen Cal and then Randy and then what the hell? The first baseman that we just got. His name is Naylor. I like Naylor after Randy if they were to do that, but that's just kind of they can do a lot of things there. DH, they can change things up. They can put Polo over at second, have a different DH in there, kind of when Luke Raley's there or something like that. All kinds of different things. But I guess I really didn't answer your question. I answered a bunch, but different things. But I don't know. I like their lineup today. You tell me the lineup you like.
Okay, right. I'd like to go with Randy Rosarena at the top. I like the way that looks. I would have Julio still hit 2. Then I'd go Cal 3. He's a right-handed pitcher, so I'd probably go Naylor 4, Eugenio 5, Polo 6, Canzone 7, JP 8, Cole Young. But I also kind of question myself with that, where I really like Cal and Eugenio hitting back to back. I feel like that's really good protection right there for Cal, especially. Just who's scarier to you to pitch to, Eugenio or Naylor? I'm not knocking Naylor, but who's the scariest guy after Cal on the team that you want to pitch to right now?
Yeah, definitely Eugenio.
Yeah. So I just feel like keeping those two together is great. I do like the speed up at the top of the order in the 1 and 2, and I think I'd also wouldn't mind any combination of Julio or Randy 1 and 2. I do like them. I feel like JP Crawford, captain of the end of the order. I like that. I like him down there. He to me, down at the end of the order, I feel a lot better for both reasons of strengthening the top of the order because of the talent you have behind you, and just the way I just feel about the end of the order when JP's right down there in 8. Because that was the guy that when you turn the lineup over when he's hitting good, you're like, oh, you got to get this number 9 hitter out, or JP Crawford's coming up there. And he can work a good walk when he's really working it as well. So I like him. I think he's going to be successful down there. It takes a little bit off of his shoulders as well. And you got to get these other guys more chances to get at bats. Come on, let's get serious.
Yeah, I agree. There's a lot of options like we talked about all night.
Yeah. Yeah, and then if Victor comes back, Victor's one of those guys that you can hit him at the top of the lineup. And let's not forget, he was really successful down at the end of the lineup. I mean, he was hitting like 370 or something like that, 360, some crazy number down there. And you had to put him up there because nobody else could hit. JP was hitting 200. You couldn't have a 200 hitter last year hitting at the top of the order. So, yeah, it's all good shit to think about going forward. We'll go to a quick break and then we'll come back. We'll wrap this shit up here on Rye Bread Mustard. Also, real quick though, before we go to this break, as you can see scrolling right here, if you like In the Clutch apparel, which we do, they're friends of ours. They do have some pretty cool shirts. I wonder already. Let's just go and look and see if they have a Gino coming back to Seattle shirt already, because they're pretty quick. They're on it.
Simply Seattle, you're asking? They do. I've gotten a couple of text messages already.
Yeah, we got to get a rep over at Simply Seattle as well. But In the Clutch is pretty good. We're trying to plug one of the sponsors here. You know what I mean? The partnership here. Facebook.
I haven't seen anything from him, so I didn't even know we had any.
Oh, okay. No, they still here at the Big Dumper stuff. We got Dumper's House. I do like this one. Am I showing this to you guys? So you want to check this out, this Big Dumper one. Is this the one that you said you'd like maybe if you were younger and had more muscles? The Cal Raleigh retro basketball jersey in the sun.
Yeah, when you get over a certain age, you shouldn't be wearing an NBA jersey.
Well, Luke, they got a new Cal Raleigh one, though. They only had the J-Rod 44. I like it. Then they got Dumper's House, the dump truck, dumping up all the balls. And then the Big Dumper, which is a outhouse. Parody of an outhouse. And then what about this one right here? This looks like a shirt that you'd wear if you worked at T-Mobile, the old Safeco Field, right? It's got the Cal Raleigh caricature unisex button shirt. And then, of course, Dumpin' Dingers. No Gino stuff yet. But anyways, if you like the stuff over at In the Clutch apparel, it's intheclutch.com. Use the promo code down here at the end of on the bottom of the screen. Rye bread and mustard, all one word. Also, if you want that street cred for rocking the rye bread, hit up at simply.cora. That's at simply.cora. She's also on Instagram and Etsy. And listen, if you're looking for a pregame spot down by T-Mobile Park, the best pregame spot is over at our friends at Pioneer Tacos and Tequila Sports Cantina. They've just expanded their place. I can't wait to get up there soon to check it out. Anyways, we'll go to a quick break and then we'll come back and we'll wrap this shit up. And then I won't have to do this part at the end. So that's pretty cool. All right.
Rye Bread and Mustard, a Mariners podcast.
We have the one and only Mr. Tom Hutler. Do you have any of your favorite stories from the Kingdom?
There was a time we had an earthquake, and so they were going to evacuate the building. So I was like getting up to go leave, and they go, "No, you can't go. You got to read these safety things." It's like,
do we need to tell them that there's smoking's only on the exterior ramps?
Yeah. And Dave came shooting past. He signed off. I'm going, wait, I'm the only one here.
Listen and subscribe to Rye Bread and Mustard, a Mariners podcast, wherever you get your podcasts.
Supercross this weekend in the Kingdom. The Coors Beer Supercross doubleheader. Get ready, Seattle, this Saturday night at 7:30 and Sunday afternoon at 2. The 1988 ANA Supercross Tour, Motorcycle Mania, on an incredible dirt battleground that treats man and machine the same way. With absolutely no respect. See the best. National champion Jeff Ward, former champion Ricky Johnson. Tickets at all Ticketmaster locations, including the Bond, Tower Records and Video, and participating Honda dealers. The Coors Beer Supercross.
All right, guys. So it's August 1st. We're wrapping this up. We got 2 months. We're now in the sprint. Just wanted to, before we get out of here, we were talking about this earlier, Hannah. We were looking at the schedule. We were trying to do some of that Ballard High School, Seattle Public School math to figure out how many more games were left. So we came up with a number. I want to see if we were correct. Parmesan, can you just do the math? I think we have, after tonight, we have about 52 games left, if I'm correct.
I honestly have no idea, but I will give you 62.
We got
52. Yeah, 52. 52. Yeah, you're right. 52.
We got 3 former Ballard High School students. We're trying to figure this out. Hey, listen, if it's more than how many fingers we have, we're always in trouble. We got 52 games. I want to say if you were going to be in the playoffs, period, in these 52 games, you're going to, at a minimum, you need to be 30 and 22. I think you got 20 to 22 bullets you can give up, and that's about it. Hannah?
Yeah. I mean, if I knew we were going to do this, I would have kind of did something a little different and figured out how many we had. I would have figured out what Houston would be if they went 500 the rest of the way. So, I mean, yeah, I can agree with you as far as those numbers, I guess. I mean, I guess we need to get in the 80s, probably 85 wins, I hope, that'll do it. Mm-hmm. But like I always say, you just got to win series. And, you can't have this trouble like you did this last road trip. I mean, those are 2 teams you should have beaten. One's in last place and one's just in front of them. So, hopefully that'll change. And so.
I agree. I mean, after that Milwaukee series, you go, all right. The bats went quiet. We faced some good pitching. Milwaukee was the hottest team in baseball with the best record. You got one of them. You got one out of them. That's all right. You're looking down at Anaheim and Oakland for 7 games. You're like, this should be a get right. You end up really going 3 and 4. You're losing a losing road trip. You lose 2 games of where you pulled yourself back up to. The trades kind of definitely, washed that away. But yeah, I would just think, I'm looking at the schedule right now too, and I think they can do better than that, but you're right. I just feel like it's going to be like 88, 89 wins is going to do it. You're sitting at 58 right now. So I feel like the magic number, my made up number, is going to be 30, just get 30 wins.
Well, so to answer Hanno's question is right now Houston, we've got 52 games left. Houston has 53 games left. So if they go 500, right, and go 27-26, they're sitting at 89 wins. If we go 30-22, we're sitting at 88 wins.
That's how you got to do it. Yep. Thanks, Guy or Parmesan. So that's playing pretty damn good, then, and that's just to win the West.
Yeah, to get in.
Well,
I feel like
get
it's
ahead
80.
of Houston. Texas has been winning a lot of games.
Yeah, they've been hot. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, you look at the schedule the rest of the way. It's Texas here, White Sox here. Those are 3 games you want to sweep. You want to sweep the White Sox with a team like this. Now you should be sweeping the White Sox at home. Tampa Bay, they can always, they seem to get better the more they shovel people out. Then you go to Baltimore, and then you go to the Mets, which is actually a tougher. I'll tell you what, this Mets
and Philly, it's very tough.
And Williamsport, they have to play in Williamsport for the Little League game. So that's a lot of travel right there. I know it's not a lot of distance, but you're going to Baltimore, to New York, then down to Williamsport, then to Philadelphia. And with the
Tampa series too, that's going to be Ichiro weekend. You're going to have all the festivities for that. These players are creatures that have it. It shouldn't be that big a deal, but you're going to have this major ceremony right before the game. They're all going to be watching that, so that can throw you off. Tampa's, you always kind of have trouble with them. So there's all these variables still. I mean, what is this, a 10-game homestand? We want to go no worse than 7-3. You would hope.
Yeah,
because you're playing the White Sox.
That's the kind of shit you got to do to make up 5 games is a lot. Well, 4.5. But it's a lot. And then you finish up the month back at home with the A's, a Mason Miller-less A's. But this is the type of year that the A's start to get deadly when they're out of it. Any of those teams are, and then followed up with listen, I know that the Padres are down 3-0 in the Vetter Cup, but after the moves they've made, they might be able to come back and tie this thing, and it might be 2 co-winners of the Vetter Cup.
See, that's another thing you got to worry about.
Yeah, we don't win the Vetter Cup. You can just forget about it. The show's over. And then you finish up with the Guardians.
Yeah. And also, I can't believe you didn't bring this up, Myron, that we've already won the tiebreaker against the Texas Rangers, so that's huge already.
That is huge. Last year when we were going down the stretch, we never made it to a tie, but they made it to a tie, I think about 45 teams had tiebreakers on the Mariners last year.
Yeah.
And the year before that. So it is good to acquire these tiebreakers. The Yankees have the tiebreaker over the Mariners. So that's something you got to think about. Boston has the tiebreaker over the Mariners. But yes, we have it over Texas. But in that window right there, unfortunately, the Mariners don't because they played them earlier. I think if they play now, maybe different results. But anyways, is there any more shit that we could talk about, or can we all finally just go and rest and be like, oh God, just relax, maybe not do a show for a few days?
The way it's going, we need to practice.
Oh, you thought this one was sloppy?
A little bit.
What were your sloppy points of the show?
Oh, and I was like, the lineup, I give you, today's lineup's fine, and then, I didn't really answer your question, and then the funniest part is I didn't know we had a sponsor, and I bagged the sponsor. That was hilarious.
Right at the gate. Well, it's a partner. We're trying to put over there.
That's big that we have a sponsor, this 5-Star Dive Bar podcast. That's good.
Not want to get over there. Yeah, so anything down there on the clicker, they're friends of ours. Be nice to them. That's what that's there for, is to remind you of like who's our friends down there. Anybody else is fair game. But yeah, it would be great if Simply Seattle was down with us. But they're not. So they're cool people. I'm just saying, like, we don't love to talk to them. But In the Clutch Apparel, love In the Clutch Apparel. They do everything. If you don't want to just be a homer, they have stuff for all NBA, NHL, NFL, all the major sports. I think even golf as well on there. So, we'll just wrap this up. And again, thanks for liking, subscribing, and all that shit. And I am ready to rest. I'm ready. I'm happy to be not like, hey, let's put out a video doing this or doing that. We've emptied the tank here in the last couple of weeks, and I think it was worth it by the way this team looks. And I'm excited to get back up there and go to the games. I mean, are you going to now release your ban of going to a game?
Yeah, I that's actually why I think the Mariners made these big moves, because John Stanton wants to go to that Ichiro ceremony and talk at it. So that's why they made these big moves like this, so he feels comfortable to go out there and not get booed out of the house. That's my theory.
Do not get the Houston Astros treatment.
Yeah, exactly. He was smart.
Is the thought.
He's out thinking us. No.
Yeah. Here's the thing that we have to talk about. And I don't know if anybody can answer this in the chats. And then this is always the part of the show where we say we're done. And then we go, one more thing. And then it ends up being half an hour longer. But we had this video going. This is from a couple years ago when we traded. It was the terrible offseason. We made this video. And the only reason I'm showing this video is because there's a follow-up question behind it. Again, this is from 2 years ago. Or a year ago. So the wallpaper of the guys on the side of the stadium.
Oh, great point. I drove by the other day, and 2/3 of those guys are needed to be replaced.
Yeah. I mean, that's how cheap the Mariners are. You should just fucking go out and replace them right away.
Within a week.
Well, like Hanno, you said there, within a week. I don't know if anybody in the chats can tell us if they put it up there. My guess is they have not. Okay. My follow-up to that, what I want to know is who's coming off of that wall, because you got to put Naylor on there and you got to put Gino on that wall. Do we agree?
Absolutely. But the thing about it is the Mariners didn't have a huge fire sale, so they probably still have good players up there, but take off Demo.
There's not
Donnie Baseball, maybe. Donnie Barrels, I'm sorry.
Donnie Baseball is Don Mattingly. Donnie Barrels is.
No, I know. I just never thought Donnie Barrels would be Solano's nickname.
Listen, Donnie B is still on the team, so let's just take it down a notch. No, I can tell you who's out there pretty much on memory. I know. Here's my candidates. Yes, probably take Mitch Garver off. I would probably take Demo off if he's on there, and I believe Miller's been on there. So I know Victor's on there. He's injured, but come on, he's about to come back. Can't take him off. So there's also we also could sacrifice the Mariner Moose. The Mariner Moose is up there, but do we take the Moose down? I mean, but you got to put Gino in there. I wonder if they what they did with that. I know I was down there when they were putting the other ones on a couple of years ago when we were making that video, but somebody's got to go. You got to have these guys back up on the building.
Yeah, somebody. Or you make a big sign. I don't know. Yeah, you're right. Someone needs to go. Demo or Garver.
Someone.
Even though Garver, man, he had a good series against Oakland.
He sure did. I mean,
nice to see.
Yeah, I'll be seeing this weekend, but you said within a week, so they should be having Nailers up there. soon, or it's within a week if you get traded.
If you're not on the team anymore, that's the kicker for me.
And one more thing. This is our always one more thing. Like I said, can somebody please? I love Josh Naylor, but can we get him a new belt? I'm tired of this turquoise. I don't know what it is. Is it from the Diamondbacks? It's like looks like a snake skin belt. I mean, I thought maybe when Gino showed up, maybe they could go get 2 belts that match and give it to him. It must be by his own choice, right? Or the Mariners don't have a belt.
Oh, it's got to be by his own choice since he's home today. They all have that
I let it
extra
slide
stuff.
on the road. But at home in the City Connects, it looked terrible. Let's be honest. It looked like shit.
I mean, I thought it made the City Connects look a little better. They're terrible as it is. I hate that we're wearing them on Thursdays now. I mean, and since we have a good team, are we getting rid of the hot dog drop and all that gimmicky stuff? Are we just all about the team now, I hope?
Well, speaking of the hot dog drop, I don't know if I have it here on my Instagram story, but there's a team. I don't know what team it was. I don't know if it was a minor league team or what. There was a helicopter showed up and it was a baseball game. And you know how we have hot dogs for heaven that you hate? Well, this other one, it was a helicopter came and just plummeted hot dogs everywhere.
Cool.
Let's see if I can find it. Oh no, we'll put it out on the social medias. All right, well, let's wrap this shit up for real. Hanno, thanks for everybody liking and subscribing. We're about to get off of this thing. We'll be back soon. We're going on a few day break to enjoy this Seafarer weekend. We already got the Blue Angels in town. I hear got the Hydro races on Sunday. Back to talk about what happens here in the series. Get back to talking some baseball. We're done with the trade deadline talk. Thank God. Team looks great. Power of
for now, knock on some wood. What about Thornton? That was a huge deal. I hope he's okay.
Oh, yeah. One more thing. Yeah, that didn't look good, but it also looked maybe precautionary. It hits your foot, your legs. Just, I don't know. What do you think it was?
I don't know. Everybody's saying it's a knee or an Achilles. I feel bad for him. I actually thought he was going to be he needed to up his game quite a bit and be, a better pitcher, not hanging everything. He had a great slider tonight. He looked absolutely like he looked, a year or so ago when he was good. I feel bad for him. Hopefully it's just a tweak of some sort, but if it's his Achilles, he's obviously done. You just never like to see anybody getting carted off a baseball field. That's not good.
Oh, hell no. No, it sucks. It especially sucks selfishly. When that happens, you're like, damn it, we should have got another relief pitcher. As a fan.
Yeah, absolutely. They got Jackson Kosar back in Tacoma. They can bring him up, who was up. They got an option at least, but poor guy.
Yeah, it does suck. Well, let's just end right there on that low note. Thanks for liking. Thanks for subscribing. Anyways, with that being said, Hanno, you know what time it is.